And this is the thing that bothers me with college too. I'm planning to be a this or a that or a that or this. College is your push to be a that or whatever you're saying. Like, is that your push? Like, you're gonna go like put money. It just you're basically forcing yourself by paying this organization to basically push you, kind of. And then even then they don't push you because you go to party or you go do this in college and stuff like that. So like that money that you put into this thing is basically yep, I paid now, so I have to do this type of thing. When before you even go into college, could you think, how can I already learn this stuff without having to even pay? And how can I prove that I know how to do this without having a degree?
Well, luckily now there's a lot of opportunity to
Yes.
A lot of certifications.
Yeah, well, you can. Well, even then, it's like a lot of things that are taught in college. Now, with the blessing of the internet,
You
a
find
lot of that is found for free online,
Yeah.
right? Now, some people do better with an instructor in that classroom setting.
Physically being in the
Some
moment.
people
yes.
operate and learn
Mhm.
better that way. Some people, it's hard for them to like sit down and force themselves to
Yeah,
learn
yeah.
a whole curriculum or topic on their own. They need
Yeah.
they need that like attendance face to face, right? But it is
It's
beautiful
funny
that we
'cause
have the
I'm so
access to
sorry.
everything.
I just thought about that. I'm like, you went to college and you're still going
I'm
to
still
college.
in college.
No,
yeah.
and that's good. No, I completely get what you're saying, but yeah. It's just
No, college is great. We need
we need more educated.
No, we
people.
do.
the educated.
Yes.
We need more educated
I
people.
agree. I
It's just
agree.
it's nowadays. It's just not the only route.
It's not mandatory. Like,
Mhm.
you don't need to go to college to be successful nowadays.
It used
You
to
really
be
don't.
more like that, but now there is so many different ways to
There's
make
so many
money
other
and be
routes.
successful.
Like
yeah.
you have this device right here can literally make you so much money if you use it the right way. Like
Yeah.
you spend so much money for it, why not use it to make more money? You know?
for a person that just cannot be in a classroom, and then I get sick of just thinking about it in a classroom, that was not my choice. But for a person that is probably gonna make more money than me in like the next couple of years than I ever will, I'm pretty sure this the college was the right choice for him. But it's just not. Yeah, just I don't have that analytical mind. This guy's very analytical. Very I mean, he's
Borderline genius.
exactly. He's using his skills that he's learning. To be honest, like probably college has been just an aid to your already gift in your head.
So yeah, so Dylan, you're in college,
I am in college.
and which we love. We love you being in college.
I also love being in college.
I did one semester.
One semester. I mean, that's
I was doing my generals. Yeah, I was gonna be a dentist. I've kind of told the story, right?
yeah.
I was gonna be a dentist, so I just started I was just barely getting started, but then I found sales. So because for me going to college, it was about getting the highest paying job.
Right.
So because that was my purpose for going, I found an alternate route to hit that same goal without the college, I guess.
Exactly. Yeah.
What are you going into? What are you studying?
So right now I am studying computer science and information systems in school. I just finished my sophomore year. I would have, if I would have decided to take a little bit more credits during the summer, I would have graduated a full year early. But right now I'm only on track to graduate a semester early, which I'm okay with. But yeah, I got most of my college paid for, thanks to my good test scores and lots of AP classes in high
That's
school.
awesome. If you can get it, if you can get it free, might
Yeah,
as
so
well.
that's really the main reason why I'm going. I mean, especially for like computer science, if you're gonna be a programmer, most of the time it doesn't even matter about the degree that you have. Like for example, for Google, a lot of their interview questions have to deal with the thought process and certain certifications that you may or may not have. It doesn't. I mean, your degree is essentially just a highlight on an application to a company that doesn't care about you. However, with that being said, I also do think that it is important that more people can go to college, that they are educated. I feel like it's very important to have a society that is educated, but also you don't have to go to college to be educated. It's more so just a way to prove that you are educated, that you went through with it. For me, I don't necessarily like school. I do like, however, that I get to have a schedule in place and I get to learn something every single day, and something is there pushing me to learn something.
You like that structure.
Absolutely. And there's a certain thing in your brain. It's called myelin. And actually, one of my best friends from back home, Josh, told me a lot about this. So your myelin is the coating around your nerve cells. And the more problems that you face in a certain day, and I'm not talking about just like mental struggles, like I'm talking about real problems that you'd have to certainly figure it out. Say just for example, it's a math problem, super hard math problem. If you feel like you can't figure it out and you just keep on working at it until you're able to solve it, it actually builds myelin in your brain. And you're actually, the more myelin that you have, the more thought process that you have. And so every problem that you just give up on, that you don't care about solving, you're not building up any myelin in your brain, and you're not getting any knowledge from it. So my whole thing with school is like, once I have a problem, I'm gonna do whatever it takes in order to be able to solve that problem. Like most people just end up screw this, as soon as they don't get
Too
it,
hard, quit.
it's too hard, or it's too. I mean, you could apply that to everything, but especially I feel like when it comes to school and academics. I mean, like physical pain is easy. Like for me, example, like getting through a workout would be pretty easy. Like physical pain doesn't really bother me that much. It's more the mental pain
You
and
can't
emotional
solve
baggage.
it.
Are you thinking more like is
Exactly.
it problem solving,
Yeah.
strategic thinking that's
Exactly.
building that? Is that what that is?
Yeah. So like, I don't remember exactly I don't remember the exact scientific study what it was about. I don't even remember who conducted it. I remember reading something about with myelin after Josh had told me about it. Reading something about myelin, and the more that you're able to not give up, the more problems that you're able to solve. It's essentially a snowball effect. The more problems that you're able to solve, the higher difficulty of problems you're
I feel
able,
like
you're
it's
able to
almost,
solve.
you can compare it to physically working out, but you're just working out your brain. Like
Yeah,
you're making your
exactly.
brain stronger over and over and over again because you're not giving up, right?
Mhm.
Like in a workout, you're not giving up. You're breaking down the muscle cells. They're repairing. Same with your brain.
Mhm.
That's what it just sounds like to me.
And-
Yeah, exactly.
And the field that you're in is coding, right?
Yeah, so
Essentially
it's,
just
yeah,
programming.
software
So
design.
that's basically just a lot of trial and error and
Yep.
like trying to solve things and
Lots of
trying to make things work, right? That's why
exactly.
this whole okay, I see.
So devil's advocate. Okay, so let's
Yeah.
say with what you're going into. So we talk about college, right? You say so college. You're linking college and education as synonymous.
not exactly.
So is there other forms to gain that education
Absolutely.
without the traditional tuition, college?
There absolutely is. I don't think that there's a more effective way to be educated than college, but
Do you feel like you would cue that or coin that as the most effective route to gain the education?
Yes, to learn the most about your entire world that's around you, and to go into a specific route that you decide to choose on.
Haziel,
Did you raise your hand?
Yeah, you don't have to raise your hand, man.
Hasael, you are permitted to speak.
You have to go to the
playing
bathroom?
college. I'm just kidding. No, no,
Well, I mean, but there
no,
are
no.
certain,
Okay. Go ahead. Sorry.
but there are certain classes that are just complete and utter bull crap. Like,
So why? So why do they do that?
I think
Because that class cost me money, and that
Well-
class has nothing to do with what I'm trying to.
Yeah,
do.
absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Those are certain things at college that I don't completely agree with. However, and I talk to my dad about this all the time because I always talk to my dad. He's one of my biggest one of my biggest helpers, to put it in a very a broad term.
supporter. Yeah.
Yeah, supporter. But he plays devil's advocate most of the time with me, especially if I get upset about something. Like this past year, I had to take a class called theater appreciation.
Bro,
Like a gen ed or something.
Yeah, so it's a gen ed, and so I think it's absolutely dumb. Like it's a waste of hour of my time.
money.
I had it.
Well,
Well,
I'm getting
yours is
mostly
free,
for free.
but
That's
yeah.
the only reason why I'm going to college, is because it's relatively free. But for theater appreciation, he said, okay, well, obviously the class is not necessary for what the field that I choose to go into.
Right.
But it's important to be able to learn about certain things. Like for example, if you're saying like stage left or stage right or whatever the hell, some people just don't understand what that means, and someone else could be talking about it, and it's a different way to just think about a certain situation.
I'm gonna challenge that a little bit.
Yeah, go ahead.
And and remember, everything's just respectful. I completely.
Yeah.
It's
No, just spit it out. Jay.
no.
Yeah, just go ahead.
Spit it out.
So, I personally think that you could be the way you are right now. All the knowledge without college.
Yeah,
I completely think that you could.
I agree.
You you could reach this state. The myelin, the stage left and stage right.
Okay.
Wait. Okay, and
Let's see where he's going with this
yeah.
right now.
The myelin and stage left and stage right. I want to ask myself, how does that help me accomplish the ultimate goal? At least the ultimate goal that I have right now,
What's your ultimate goal?
making a lot of money.
Well, then
Isn't that everyone's ultimate goal though?
Yeah,
not
yeah,
always,
no,
not
ultimate
always,
goal.
not always. But like, so if you're going into coding or whatever, your degree,
how
theater
does,
appreciation. In my mind, life is too short.
exactly.
Time is the
Yes,
most
yes.
valuable asset we have.
Yes.
Yes.
I would be like wasted
Exactly.
time. That knowledge will never support me. Will never serve me.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Maybe I'll be able to carry a conversation with somebody about theater one day, 20 years down the road because of this class. But it's like
Because now I
don't
have
care
time
about
to go
Yeah,
to
I don't.
theater
I don't.
and
I
learn
don't
about.
care about it either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just interesting
No,
how they do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
To back Dylan up on that though, because I graduated from college, right? I have my bachelor's in marketing, minor in public relations.
Beautiful.
I took a Zen class. All right, we did a Zen study, basically big BS class.
What's-
I see what,
What
you're
Zen-
saying.
what
though.
is Zen? What is
Yeah,
Zen?
what is
It's
it?
like finding the peace of mind.
Oh,
in
like
your head.
Zen?
Exactly.
Okay.
And don't ask me what I learned from that class because it was an 8 a.m. And I don't know if you go to college, you know the 8 a.m.s are
Zen.
the absolute worst. It would put me to sleep.
Interesting.
But basically, what you're saying though with the theater class, like as a gen ed, it kind of just gives you a different outlook on the way that people do live their lives and what they have to go through in a different circumstance, a different field, a different study. Like you start to think outside of your own bubble, right? You're not so trapped and so tunnel visioned on the one thing that you are focused on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Essentially, just gives you another perspective
Yeah.
in how to think. Do I think overall that class was a waste of my time? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like if I wasn't getting a good majority of my college paid for, I wouldn't. I like I said, I probably would not have gone.
Yeah.
And I probably would be a lot more upset having to take a theater appreciation class.
If you had to pay for it, you'd be
Of
like,
course, yeah.
like,
I
I'm
would
not
not
paying
be.
for this
I would
crap.
not be happy with that.
and I got to pay for this textbook that's $500 that it's not even
Yeah,
needed to do.
stupid prices.
Well, my
first of all.
textbooks are other than college. The only real way to prove that you are educated, especially and this is only in the sense of an employer, is to pay for a certification. Now, surely that's way less than paying for college, but really the only way to back up an education is to pay for a certification or
Yeah.
to
What is
pay
a
for some sort of
certification?
class.
So keyword employer.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's
So-
only in the sense of an employer.
That's
I
if
wanna be the
I
employer.
want to work for somebody.
I want to be the
else.
employer.
Yeah,
Right.
you want to be the guy hiring.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You want to be the CEO, and you
Yeah.
don't need a degree to start a business.
No.
Now, if I am a CEO, say, hey, I do want to, and yes, I'm probably going to need some business knowledge, right? I'm going to need to take a class, like maybe some business classes, but a lot of that stuff, yeah, there's classes online. There's other ways to gain that knowledge, right?
Right.
And on top of that, it's like, okay, maybe if I'm a CEO, I could be a college dropout, build an amazing company
Mhm.
as a CEO, but then maybe, yeah, I do want to hire a guy to be the financial advisor for the company
has a
that does
degree.
have a degree.
Yeah.
Who
So-
got an
Exactly.
A plus? in
Because I want to
statistics.
know that he knows what he's doing and he's got the proper learning, right?
Exactly.
And maybe I won't be like college degree, but I'll certificate. What have you done? What are your accomplishments? If
Exactly.
he's like, oh, I was a financial advisor for this company and we accomplished this, I'm like, okay, that's for me. That's just as valuable as a degree. Because some guys just float. Let's be honest. Some guys float through college to get the degree,
Yeah.
and they honestly
exactly.
didn't learn shit. And then there's guys that have. He said, Jay,
Guilty.
and my little brother's so my little brother, he didn't go to college, and he is coder, genius, computer wizard.
Yeah.
Right.
Getting paid multi six figures to run dial like call centers and things like that for companies in Utah. And he gets paid handsomely because of his skill set.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and now that he has this resume of working for these different companies and what he's done, like the college degree thing is
Yeah.
like, it's not, I don't think it's as important today as it was during our parents' generation.
100%.
During our parents' generation, there wasn't really the internet and different ways to make money. It was, you got a degree to go work for a company, get the W-2, get the insurance, get the health,
Stability,
get the benefits.
security.
But I will say this. I will say this though. The vast majority of millionaires went to college.
So how do they
I will
become?
with that.
So
I
how
need
they
a fact
become
check.
millionaires? Going to college.
I need to
It's
fact.
I need a fact check.
go
on that
ahead.
one.
You could look it up.
No, I do need.
I think it's like 80. I think it's like 86% of all millionaires. In the United States.
I need to see the Carfax.
No, let's
right now,
look
but-
that up because
Yeah.
I think most millionaires are made by real estate. I think real estate has made the most millionaires. Because if you get so for example, yes, college degree. If you're saying, okay, I'm a millionaire because I got my college degree. If I got a degree, that means I'm going to get hired by somebody, which means I'm going to be on salary, which means my income is capped. So most people that did most
Unless if you're on
circumstan-
salary and you make commission at the same time.
maybe.
That
But
was
now
my
you're
first
talking
job.
about
You
now
can
you're talking
become
about
millionaire
sales.
off of salary.
Yeah.
Off of salary alone.
You can. I agree, but I do feel like it's a slower process because you're trading your time for money, not trading your effort for money.
Yeah.
So that's where we get into it because even if you have a degree,
88% of surveyed millionaires graduated from college.
how many of those became millionaires because of their degree that they got in college?
I hate
That's-
when Dylan's right though.
That's
sometimes,
the
bro.
fact that I want to know. Because how many people graduate from
He's right, but
college?
no.
I'm just saying.
He's like never wrong though. That's the crazy.
I'm just saying.
Because of
well,
college.
Well,
No, that's
I don't,
cool.
I don't want to get into a dangerous place where like people are saying, okay, well, college. I don't want to get to a dangerous part where people are saying like college is a scam. You don't need college. Don't go to college. Like that sort of thing. Like I don't want to get into that. Do I think that college is necessary in order for you to become rich? No. Do I think that it will definitely push you to be more successful? Absolutely. So Mark Zuckerberg is a great example of this. A lot of the big gurus that talk about finance that say that college is a scam, whatever. Mark Zuckerberg he created Facebook, but the reason why he dropped out was because he figured that his opportunity cost from him staying in college was probably going to be less than if you were to stay in college. Whereas if he would have dropped out and stayed with Facebook, he would have made a lot more money.
Right.
Do I think that his motivation was money? Probably. In the sense of growing Facebook. But for the vast majority of people that are thinking about starting a business while they're in college, their opportunity costs is probably gonna say to stay in college. Most of the time, you're not going to become, a multimillionaire. Like the vast majority of the time, you're not going to become a multimillionaire by starting a business in college. And even if you just do decide to not go to college, starting a business where you're going to become a multimillionaire is very, 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 very slim.
Right. It's very rare in the
yeah.
first place.
Exactly.
In the first place.
And so I very strongly dislike it when someone like a guru or something online points to one of the very few small people like Jeff Bezos, Steve Jobs, or Mark Zuckerberg. They point to them and say, well, these three guys did it. Why can't you? I mean, of course, it is a mix of your mentality and then your discipline. But above all, I mean, they were very lucky to be able to grow a business like
They're
that.
the outliers.
Exactly. They're the complete outliers. And so I'm not saying that you need college to be successful. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is that if you want to just if your goal is to just make the ultimate amount of money, then college, picking a good field that will make you the most money, it would probably be the best to go to college for the vast majority of people. But
Fields.
well, I mean, it
Surgeon, lawyer.
yeah. I mean, the big paying jobs. But if your opportunity cost states that you have a job that you're going to make more money
And
than
like-
if you were to go through college, then go through that job.
And
If your
there's
goal
a-
is to make the money,
Which was my scenario.
exactly, yeah.
My opportunity cost, because I went out and did a sales job for 4 months in the summer between college semesters, made $92,000.
Exactly.
And I was like, okay, all of a sudden now I'm like, my opportunity cost is, which I still could have kept doing that through the summers. I still could have went to college and still done the summer job
Right.
of selling and making commissions. But because I understood that the leadership position in that specific job was $150K on average.
It just kept
So then I was
rising.
like, okay, yeah. So then it was a pivot for me where it's like, okay, the initial plan was dentistry because of the money and the freedom. But then I found an alternate route that I felt like could get me there quicker. Because my uncle's a dentist. Took him 13 years.
I would say freedom.
Graduated.
Yeah, and you're one of the outliers. Like
Yeah.
for a vast majority of people, the route that you took will not be feasible for them.
For sure,
Whether or not
for sure.
whether or not be due to their mentality or what, maybe some
Work
unforeseen
ethic, whatever it
work
is.
ethic, yeah, whatever it may be. But I feel like if you want to be the most successful, for the vast majority of people, for an average kid coming right out of high school,
I
is
feel
to
like
go
you
into
need those
college.
jobs though.
It's a
Like,
safer-
you
it's a safer
need to-
route.
You need to
Yeah,
go those.
it's a safer route. It's a safer route to become, to have money.
But is it
Get
this?
money.
Okay, but let's change the name. Let's change the word college to educated. Is it the same? If you say, hey, no,
No.
you need to get educated.
No, it's not the same.
So what's the difference?
The difference between college and being educated,
Certification.
yes.
Which is losing its
Value.
value
Right.
of importance
You
in,
can-
in today's world.
I agree.
Yes, you can be educated with no certification, but then what's good with being educated if you want to be hired by an employer, and that's only in the sense.
But
of
once
you
again,
being
you're
an
falling
employer.
back to the security and the stability of, okay, I went to school, I got this job, got hired by this employer, right?
Yeah.
I'm making that base salary, right? Got my 401k, all that stuff. Like you can't grow past that. You're capping out.
and most
And
people
people feel
want a
comfortable
safe-
with
yeah,
that. That's the
exactly.
problem, though.
Most people want a safe route, want a safe and comfortable route, and most of the time that ends up leading to a pretty good life. A pretty good life. Will it lead to the best life? Probably not. It probably won't lead to the life that you want to live. But for most people, that's the safe route that they're complacent
I
with.
think
And I
that's
feel
the
like-
key. That's the key. It's if you want to be average,
Go that route.
college.
Well, above average, the average would be.
Well, you have the
dropping out of-
opportunity to still be above average.
Yeah.
But it's the safe route. Get a degree. Get hired by an employer.
You're not going to be all the way up here.
work 9 to 5. Retire when you're 65.
I'd rather
It's a
risk it
safe
all.
route that will lead to a pretty good life, like a above average life.
Decent
if
life,
you
decent
yeah. Well,
I'd rather
above-
risk it all.
More than decent.
This
No,
is the
but
thing. Is,
I think you need to kind of pick those jobs though, and not only pick
What-
those high paying jobs.
true
right?
because there's college degrees where you're still making 40 grand a year.
Because what if I
That's-
don't like any of those jobs, and then second,
Yeah, then don't. Then,
yeah,
don't
and
go to
then
school.
and then second, what if I'm going to college and I don't have that having the drive to even do something with yourself is like already having that drive, even if you're going or not going to college, just having that drive is a huge just advantage for you since nobody else like seems to have the drive at least that you have to. Because I see you're a pretty
Thank you.
hardworking guy, you know.
I appreciate that.
And I think we're all pretty hardworking people here.
Yeah.
But it's like a lot. And I don't know the statistics, but would that be true? Like, is there a lot of less hardworking people in the world that
There's
just
average,
settle?
pe-
That
there's
just
average
settle?
people. Yeah, I think a lot of people are okay just surviving.
Yeah,
They're
just
content.
surviving.
They're content with just
content
making
with-
the bare
And
minimum.
regardless if you go to college or
Which
not,
sucks because
if you-
life is too short.
If you
really
go to
is.
college, you still need that. Like, I need to do something with myself.
No, some people
Oh,
don't even
so-
think
yeah,
like
some
that,
people-
though. Like,
Because
they're
if you-
fine
if
with
you
making
go
the
to-
bare minimum.
Because you go to college and it's like I guess my argument now in after hearing you out and stuff as well is like just going back to that, like having that drive to do something with yourself regardless of the route that you decide to take. Because if it is surgeon, if it is lawyer, and it's like you got to be determined to be that best lawyer so you could go and make that amount of money that you want.
It's not even guaranteed too.
Yeah,
right?
it's yeah.
Even with the degree, you're still competing against someone else to get your spot, which is good. We want that. We want competition in the
Yeah.
marketplace.
So say you don't like college, and now you're like in that percentage of like not being, right?
If you don't like
now,
college.
now you need to like make that up by being extra hardworking
Yeah.
and like stuff like that. I don't
Yes,
know. It's
if
just
you-
yeah.
if you-
Regardless, you just need that. But that's my
Yeah.
final thoughts.
If you really don't like school and you don't think that it's gonna help you, then don't go.
Yeah, you got the
I mean,
option to.
it's really I put it down like that. I think for the vast majority of people, going to college will help them. But that's
I want to say my
that's
input on this
thought.
real quick.
Yeah,
'cause
go
I've just
ahead.
been kind of quiet about this whole college topic. I mean, since I did go, I
And
kind
try to
of
speak
went.
loud for the TikTok.
Yeah,
posts
I kind
and
of
stuff.
went just because I was kind of urged by my parents. Right.
Yeah, I mean
Not-
that's why a lot of people.
More so my mom. If anything, more so my mom. She was like the one that she never went to school. Both my parents didn't go to school, right? 3 kids. My brother graduated. My sister graduated. I'm the baby. They wanted me to graduate. So I felt obligated in a sense, right? Had to go to college, had to get a degree, get a good job, like we've been talking about. my experience with it, and it kind of pisses me off. I can't remember who said this, but it was a celebrity. He was like, the whole point, the whole structure of college is to show your future employer that you did the list of tasks that you were asked to do, right? And that's what they expect out of their, employer, who they're going to hire. So that is like the main core of college. Is
I
like
agree with that.
you went, you did something, you were told to do something, you had a schedule, you had to do years of this, you had to do classes, you had to do everything with it. It just shows that you're able to accomplish what you've been told to do.
What do you think about that?
I think it's true, right? I'm not going to lie. I BS my way through college, all right? I graduated 2.0, bare minimum. And I'm proud to say that.
C's get degrees, baby.
I got D's,
That's
baby. What are you
D's,
talking about? I swear to God. But I mean, college to me in a different sense, I learned a lot from college without even learning a lot from college, all right? Like, I learned a lot of social skills. I learned a lot of different people. You go to a school where you have all these different, like, you're so used to high school, right? You come straight out of high school. You grew up with these kids, elementary, middle, high school. Then you go to college. You got guys coming from the inner city. You got people coming from the West Coast, the East Coast, all flying in, whatever. You all have the same idea in your head. Okay, I'm coming here. I'm going to take these classes. I'm going to graduate, get a good job. But like you just start learning a mix of life. Like you start getting a feel of what life is all about, right? You're getting a taste of where different people come from, how they grew up, how they act. And it's just, it implodes you into this new society of the way to live. And it gives you a taste of what real life is going to be about. Mm-hmm. So I think I was taught a lot of lessons, and I learned a lot of lessons just from being around other people, and then also, doing the classes.
Yeah.
I think if your goal is strictly to make money, there's so many other ways to make money without spending the time or the money on a college degree. Because in my mind, too, college is a business. It's a business for profit. They're trying to make money. It is a business. A lot of the business professors have never started their own business.
Yeah.
And they're teaching business classes.
Yeah, I
Right?
have caught up on that. I'm like, dude, what?
So it's like if I wanted to learn about business, I would go online and DM a business owner and say, hey, dude, can I come shadow you at your business and learn the ins and outs? That's how I would want to gain my business education versus go to some professor that's never ran a business. So I do think there is some aspect of college where it is a business. They're trying to make money. It's a company, right? It's not. I don't think the intentions are just like, oh, we just want to educate the population. There is money involved.
Yeah.
I also, right now, I have an issue with the how politics is so injected into the college system right now with all the professors and all the ideology. Yeah. That is making it to where almost I'm just like,
that's the one thing I
my
hate
kids
about
about college.
It's really bad.
It's like they have one way of thinking and they think that's
corrupting
the correct way. That's the only way. If you don't listen to what I have to say, you're fucked up. You know what I mean? Like,
no, it's There's definitely a lot of brainwashing going on, especially with politics.
And it's getting worse.
Oh, it's getting it's really bad. I will say that's one thing that I strongly despise.
Do you experience that? Because
absolutely.
It's been 15 years since I've been.
Yep.
Do you experience that?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Where you have to kind of follow the group and think like everyone else, or you get kind of shunned a little bit, or
so a lot of my obviously not really my science classes. Most of my science classes are on the computer anyway, where you're not really having like broad discussion. But especially in like a lot of English classes, or one time in a history class, it's very hard to share opinions from the other side. And that's actually what I'm hoping to solve with the political app that I'm making right now. Thank you, T. Woody, for saying that for me. Yeah.
Little plug.
So it's Coffee House. It's going to be available on the App Store hopefully within January 2024 is hopefully we're going to release it.
What's it called?
Coffee House.
Coffee House.
Yep. So it'll be released to Android and iOS. We're developing it right now. Me and Josh, or Josh and I rather. But the whole point when I was when I was 18 years old, I found a huge problem in today's political industry. I despise the fact that people ever vote for the lesser of two evils in elections.
So you're saying left or right?
Yep, and
Republican, Democrat.
And I really don't like that. I want to be able to create a platform that'll integrate third parties so people are able to research the political candidates. I mean, the viewers can ask themselves at home, like, do you know who the last person ran for the House of Representatives in your district last year? 99% of people are going to have no idea.
Yeah.
And I think it's very important to especially know your local candidates, because a lot of the times your local government candidates are going to control your life more than the ones at the presidential elections.
True.
But I also think that it's important to align yourself with a political party that you align that you share views with. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't like it that people only ever look at like one side and they share like a couple of views and they're like, okay, yeah, I'm gonna vote for this guy just because I feel like he's gonna win or he has the best chance of winning, and I align with a little bit of his views. But thank you, Tildy. Coffee House. It'll hopefully be released January 2024 is what we're hoping for the release date, right before the 2024 election. So I mean, download it, check out your candidates, especially from other parties, Ford Party, Green Party, Libertarian Party. Don't just look at Republican and Democrat, please.
That's awesome. Do you feel like, and we don't need to put this in if you don't want to, but what are you going to try to monetize the app? What's your end goal with that?
Yeah, so no, we're doing no advertisements. Our business model is, number one, if you're aspiring political candidate, you're gonna have to pay to be on the app. So it's depending on the position that you're going to. Obviously, the higher positions are gonna be a little bit more expensive. And then on the app, users can donate to candidates on the app, and we'll take 3% of every donation. The reason why we want to cut out advertisements is to lower the amount of data breaching with users. So we're gonna value user privacy data. Because I mean, after all, we all know, especially with everything with Facebook, if you're not buying anything on the app, if you're not spending money on the app, then you are the product. Right. There's third party advertisers that are selling your data, so that you
Push
are
ads to
advertised.
you. Yep.
Exactly. So we're prioritizing user data. But yeah, thank you, T. Woody. I appreciate you that question.
Dude, heck yeah, that's awesome. I'm excited to see it. Yeah. We'll be big supporters for sure.
I appreciate it. Yeah,
we'll push it. Mm-hmm. Okay, cool. So hey, if the TikTok live is still going, comment. Are you pro college? Are you anti college?
The comments below.
Yeah, comment. Blow up the
comment
feed.
below.
Quincy, if you're still there, comment below.
Quincy's. Yeah. I know Quincy's anti college. He already dropped out last year.